Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We are going to do, I think, one more episode for tonight. First, a little bit of housekeeping. We've got some more gold mines available in Lima, and of course, we need to get our gold mines over to dynamite. That'll produce some extra cash. And really, all of our mines should be using dynamite at this point. So, coal mines, it'll be fine. Iron mines, absolutely. Sulfur mines, definitely. So that... my cord caught on my microphone, which could have been a problem. This glass trade route is no longer productive, so we'll go ahead and scrap it. And we're still good on coal. We're still good on sulfur. And lead's doing just fine. Iron is pretty affordable. So that's quite productive. I'm feeling pretty pleased about that. I don't think we need these additional glassworks, so we'll put those at the bottom until we need them. So next thing, I think at this stage, I'm going to put these gold mines actually above here. I think at this stage, I want to try and annex Colombia. And I'm really, really going to hope that nobody in Europe wants to fight me about this, because I really, really want to not be in a war with such like as the United States over Colombia. But for now, I think I can actually build up the necessary government infrastructure that I can start the canal survey. Can I complete the canal survey if we're at war while it's happening? I'm not sure. Standard of living is pretty solid. I've got a lot of cash in the pot. 3.7 million against a maximum reserve of 6 million. Let's see. 1% chance they'll accept. Alright. Venezuela, we got 5 months. Maybe we'll try Venezuela first. So I think, let's go ahead and get some more construction sectors built. We're going to put a couple more in Baixo Paraguay. And then we'll do a couple in Para. And let me see, I haven't really looked at these territories. We got quite a bit of labor available in Ecuador. Not as much in La Paz as I was hoping. So we'll do a couple in Ecuador as well. And then a couple in Santa Cruz. We'll just sort of spread it all out. And that's a lot of construction sectors. I hope I don't end up regretting this, but I've got a lot of iron in this here market. So I'm feeling pretty optimistic overall. So everyone's good on infrastructure basically at this point, right? Looks like yes. So I'm feeling pretty confident. We do have a new production method available for ports, but I can't switch over to that until I've got all of my building. Well, actually, no. I don't need to switch all of my buildings over to steamships, because I only need steamers for these ports. I can leave the military ones where they are, so this is actually good. We'll wait till this flips over. All right. And then for shipyards... Oh, nope, I can't. I need the ironclad for regular shipyards as well. Alright, never mind. Maybe we should queue that in, but not yet. So if I go to steel frame construction with all of these construction sectors, that's going to cost me a huge pile of steel. 40 steel and 50 glass per steel frame construction sector, and I'm going to have 32. So... that's 1,600 steel? Yeah, that's 1,600 steel. So what is steel looking like at present? I'm going to need to triple my steel output. So let's go ahead and queue those in. It's going to take some time. We'll do 5 levels here in Minas Gerais, 5 levels in Rio de Janeiro, 2 in Sao Paulo, 2 in Baixo Paraguay. And that's going to be Total of 15 levels. Let's do one more. Let's put one more in Baixo Paraguay. And that's just so that they'll be in there getting built and getting ready to go. Silviano Marquez retires. Well, he was good. Who's leading up the armed forces now? A positivist. Interesting. We have a Brazilian army with... Oh, yes, that's right. We'll pop this unit into the 3rd Brazilian army, and then let's just make sure we got 2 leaders in each of these armies. This one needs another one. Got an industrialist guy, a jingoist. Let's do it. So good, and the 1st Brazilian army needs... Got another defensive strategist and a romantic. Absolutely. Wonderful. So that's very good. How long till we can annex Venezuela? Another 5 weeks. I'm going to take a run at them first, see what it looks like in terms of overall cost for us to fully annex. There's vulcanization. Excellent. So this is going to help us out a lot. Does it still unlock bicycle recon? It doesn't. You know, I would know this if I had looked at the screen that popped up. So this unlocks elastics and machined steel tools. So now's the time that we can start actually building up our rubber capacity. So let's start building up our rubber capacity. We already have 1 rubber plantation, but we've got just so much capacity for rubber harvesting. We'll put 4 in Amazonas, 4 in Para. Not a lot of labor available in these 2 areas. We'll do 2 in Pastaza and 2 in Accra. And we will put all of those above the steel and glass infrastructure that we just worked in. It's going to take a long time because those areas are full of very dense forests and very low on infrastructure, but I think we'll be all right. A few more days, then we can run face first into Venezuela and see if they'll be willing to submit to our authority. Relations with the European powers are looking good. So let's see. They will not accept. What about Colombia? We have a 1% chance. Do I want to change up my laws at all? Before we do this, I could do guaranteed liberties. The armed forces... Oh, the armed forces would be very unhappy if I did this. I do very much want to, though. But let's work on this situation, and then once South America is secure, we'll go forward with doing what we want to do. So who do we want to go after first? Venezuela or Colombia? This 1% chance. Come on, give me a break. Give me a lucky break here. 1%. Oh no, that's really dumb. That's really dumb. That's really dumb. What we'll do instead is we'll do a military expansion. We'll do an additional 9 levels of skirmish infantry. An additional 5 levels of shrapnel artillery. That was 6. It's all good. No, it's not. And then, you know what? We'll actually go up to 10. So we'll be 30, 20, and 5. For the 1st Brazilian army. For the 3rd Brazilian army, will be 30. And then we'll be 20 and 5 for this one as well. And we'll put these all the way above the rubber plantations. And then we'll see how it looks. Once we've got a stronger army, we'll see how it looks. Finances are not as solid. We're still getting a pile of cash from the USA and Great Britain. So I may be about to completely mess myself up, but I'll have a good reserve. So I'm not too worried. And you know, maybe I'll just maybe it'll be all right. So hopefully, what I'm really hoping for here is that as these armies increase in size, we'll get to the point where our puppets are more willing to just go ahead and join us, rather than us needing to physically, kinetically fight them. I'm actually going to pull this government sector down in the rankings here. In the queue here, just so that we can get this done quickly. And there's postal savings. That's nice. Probably should have shift-held this and done it from the other end the way I normally do, but I was feeling very optimistic about my ability to click precisely a bunch of times in a row at a moving target. Whomst among us, amongst the Paradox, Hearts of Iron, and whatnot crowd, has not overestimated their ability to click precisely over and over. Radicals are slowly going down, so I'm feeling pretty confident overall. Oh my gosh, I never went to universal suffrage. That's brutal. And the intelligentsia would not be happier with universal suffrage than with census suffrage. Could go to wealth voting. Would make the landowners happier, the trade unions unhappy. But I do kind of want strong trade unions. Hey, Slovene mass migration. Wonderful. That's excellent. Population is continuing to grow. Obviously, it's growing in kind of fits and starts as we keep annexing more areas. GDP is growing really, really fast, but again, that's partially our economy. Investment pool is going up, but private sector is only building one thing right now, so that's to be expected. South Indian mass immigration to Washington. Why? Are the South Indian people discriminated? I don't think they are. They're not. Probably because of all the atheism we're doing. Probably because we're doing big atheism. I think that's... I'm going to blame atheism. That's how we're going to do it. Alright, so we maxed out relations with Russia. Britain's going after Dynam. That's chill. USA, relations are still amicable. They're feeling belligerent, but they're not rivaling us. They are damaging relations. I can't improve relations yet. Trade agreement with Russia? Absolutely. So who else can we improve relations with? Relations are good with Italy. They're good. They're mostly good with France, and we are currently improving relations with them. Good with Prussia. Austria we're still a little rough with. They're wary, and I don't love that. Again, military expansions, they make people wary, but they also make you stronger, and people are less willing to fight someone they can't actually fight, so... That means that growing our military is vital. Little by little, rubber barons, local authorities, and elements of the Catholic Church are divided on the best direction to shape the Amazonian peoples of the Amazonas. Every argument, however, is rooted in self-interest. Both her husband and her son's hands were struck red. Priests and nuns had brought canes upon the boy for dancing in the halls and reciting the old stories. The patrons and forcers believed the man had adulterated the rubber he tapped. If the men of the lash had not worked them to death, she thought, the men of the single god would drive their souls to death as well. Education is a distraction. Their hands are for labor, not writing. Extra radicals from discrimination, increased plantations throughput, or we shall make Brazilians a vignette. Extra education, access, and assimilation, and radicals from discrimination. I'm going to go with the bottom one. The landowners can eat one, because extra assimilation is really good for me. It is not lost on me that I'm kind of... that it looks like I might just be making the same mistake that I made in the 1860s and completely outrunning my my ability to finance everything. But I choose to think that I am not doing that. We'll see if I end up being right. You know, what's a game of Victoria 3 without a little bit of risk, without a little bit of riding the edge and potentially creating a huge government debt crisis. Prussia and Austria are going after each other. Not sure what that's about. I'm really wishing the United States were not feeling so belligerent towards us at the same time as they're giving us piles and piles of cash. Oh, them giving us piles and piles of cash is improving relations. That's very funny. They're trying to reduce relations, but they can't because they're giving us piles and piles of cash. That's very funny, actually. That's extremely funny. So, let's take a look at our armies. They're significantly increasing in size. And I'm feeling pretty confident overall. We're getting more shrapnel artillery. I'm going to queue in a few more levels of conscripts as long as we're over here. Let's see. We haven't really increased conscripts since the very beginning of the game, so our conscript forces are still pretty small overall. In fact, let's go ahead and throw in a bunch of levels of conscripts here. And we'll do another 5 of artillery conscript battalions as well. And then for the third army, we'll do about half that. 2, 3, 4, 5. And that should be more than enough. Alright, so that's the end of the barracks we've been building up. Well, now it is. Third Brazilian army is still growing pretty strong. First Brazilian army is getting there. So let's see what these annex chances look like now. Venezuela still will not accept, but... and Colombia is still at 1%. Let's do it. Alright, well, it was not to be a peaceful annexation, but we've got a large force. I'm feeling confident. Let's go ahead and put our units on the front. And we are once again short of munitions, but our munitions plants should be able to provide. The ones in Accra cannot because they're not fully employed. Nor the ones in La Paz. Nor the ones in Pernambuco, but they should be able to hire. Oh, they're kind of short on labor. Only the ones in Rio de Janeiro, but they are hiring, so that shortage should go away pretty soon. Alright, I could sway Britain, once again. Let's, but again, I'm hoping not to. I'm hoping nobody just kind of gets into this for funsies. Los Santos is neutral. And force comparisons are looking solid over here. And very solid over here. Ooh. And the rural folk are happy again. So we got nucleus coloniais once again. So I'm pretty pleased about that. Okay, it doesn't look like anyone's going to intervene. So I'm very, very hopeful about this. Hopefully I'm not making myself a huge mistake. Let's see if we can export some rubber. Anyone want rubber? Britain wants rubber. Now that there's a route, we'll continue to export more rubber to them, the more they want. Alright. Quite a few countries are declaring neutrality. And Romanian mass migration. Excellent. Oh, now we're in the countdown to war. Alright, I'm feeling very confident. The landowners are also giving us a little bit of migration attraction here. And it's only this guy who is wanting slavery, so let's get him out of here. Well, there's still a movement for slavery. And there's our war with Colombia. Battle's looking good. Battle is looking good. Both of us are maneuvering aggressively, but I'm maneuvering more aggressively on account of I've got 5 times as many dudes in the battle. What about over here? Good. Good. Looks like they're going solidly. Once again, we'll designate the capital as our strategic objective. And now these places are... they're even lower in employment. That's curious. Now let's bring in some guns. Didn't expect that to happen, but... Alright. Things are looking good. We do have an army moving to the secondary front that appears to have kind of peeled off. So I'm hoping they're not able to rush us into some territory here. I think we'll basically be good to go. And there's our army in place. Beautiful. And now we're just taking over... oh my god. You cannot be serious. You can't be serious. This whole... my canal zone. Rubber rush event. This place seems to be the most effective. No, my canal zone. My canal zone. I can't believe this. America snuck in and got my canal zone. I'm going to build this canal. And I'm going to build it even though America's trying to build a canal. I am the one who builds a canal. Skylar, I'm the builder of canals. I am the man with a plan in Panama. Skylar. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's really late. It's really late. That's what's going on. Large numbers of South German people migrating to Vaso, Paraguay. Very good. Anglo-Indian capitalist revolt. You want to, you want to bankroll me? You want to double bankroll me? Alright, so that is that area sorted. Let's go and get started incorporating this territory. This is going to be a huge boon for our economy. I'll completely run through all of the excess government admin created by my actually taking those territories, but let's quickly reset production methods and see how things look. And, oh, we're getting on towards the end of the episode. We got an agitator, and we're short on government admin. I'm going to put rubber on encourage exports, and we'll see who else wants rubber. Frickin' only Prussia. Only Prussia knows the value of a good rubber tree. That's for sure. Let's take these glassworks down, and we'll go ahead and increase our... You know what? We'll do machine tools. We got the rubber. Hell on Earth event. This is a very common event when you've got a lot of rubber plantations. Workers at the rubber plantations in Pastaza are being severely mistreated. Mutilation has become a common punishment for perceived failures. They went on to declare, when asked why they had fled, that they had endured such ill treatment at the hands of the government officials and the government soldiers in their own country that life had become intolerable, that nothing had remained for them at home but to be killed for failure to bring in a certain amount of rubber, or to die from starvation or exposure in their attempts to satisfy the demands made upon them. We cannot slow down production, extra mortality. I don't want to do that, so we're going to launch an inquiry into conditions of the plantations. This is going to reduce rubber plantation throughput by 25%. We're going to do this every time. To greener grounds. Satisfied with the state of politics in Brazil and eyeing new opportunities for agitation abroad, José Rondon has declared his intentions to leave the country, wishing its current custodians the best of luck in the years to come. You see, he's a reformer. Friends, what we've achieved here in Brazil is nothing less than astounding. The reformer cause is Brazil's cause, and our labors and our results serve as proof of just that. But in the celebration of our fortunes, we should not forget those abroad, whose reformer aspirations are still but a faint hope, struggling under the boots of our enemies. As long as their cause remains, so does mine. I cannot in good conscience rest on my laurels in Brazil, ignoring their cries for justice. Farewell, Rondon. May your ideas find ready ears abroad. I'm going to go ahead and build some more government admin, because I want to survey that canal and build it. Now I'm going to do it just to spite the USA. And we'll put a block of government admins in Baixo Paraguay. That's a good place. And maybe some in Santa Cruz. And we'll just put those at the top of these steel mills here. And France is declaring a war on, this looks like Sokoto? Siak. It would have been really impressive if I'd gotten it right on the first try. So now rubber is very expensive. Everyone wants to buy rubber, but our plantations are rapidly increasing in their overall production level, so I'm hoping that that winds up doing what we need to do. We've got almost 13 levels, and they're producing 30 rubber per level. So 11, so that should mean an ability to produce 330 rubber total, but it's taking its sweet time. A famous cafe. After a chance meeting in a cafe and a thoughtful conversation, Umberto Labatut has recommended that Ljubisa Vojvodic, currently residing in Brazil, be granted permanent residency. If you're in need of a place to stay, I could hardly neglect to offer you an invitation. It would be shameful for me to, following such a magnificent correspondence, to fail to pursue your talents further. We could hardly ask for more esteemed endorsement, or his decision-making is clearly questionable. So, Vojvodic is a radical heading up the industrialists. No, thank you. I can live with some salty industrialists right now. They're at plus 12, and I continue to do a bunch of things that they want, because they're my base. And hopefully this situation will sort itself out. Alright, we're in an election cycle. Petit Bourgeois want to join the Liberal Party. And that's actually a real problem. So we're going to leave it, because we got a righteous government right here. The righteous government we have at home. And there's reinforced concrete. That will further increase the throughput of our construction sectors, which makes me really, really happy. And now we're working on steel frame buildings. So there'll come a point at the end of this when all of these steel mills are going to get built. And that's going to matter a lot. Spain is going after a military revolt in Bhutan. Nobody wants us involved. That's probably not shocking. Spain and I are rivals and have been for a very, very long time. I do have some extra influence. Let's go ahead and improve relations with the Ottoman Empire and China. So, how's the old finances? Booming industries. Oh, excellent. Industrial boom. With recent expansion in both production and consumption of explosives in our country, there's been much debate about whether the military or the industrial sector should have priority. Why should we worry how much dirt we can move when we should be thinking about how to defend our country? All you care about is starting more wars. We should put this to use for our workers instead. They're more important. Transport both industries, extra explosives factory throughput. Give it to the industrial sector, extra mines throughput. Give it to the military sector, extra munitions plants throughput. I'm going to give it to the industrial sector. Because I like mineral wealth, and I like it a lot. I've had this extra company slot available for a bit, but I'm actually going to have the Canal company pretty soon. I hope. Assuming this doesn't get in my way. So, you know, feeling pretty good overall about that. Anyway, so this journal entry, I can survey the Panama Isthmus. This is going to cost a bunch of bureaucracy. We are doing just fine from a financial perspective, so I could do it right now and completely shoot my bureaucracy in the foot. Or I could wait until a few more of these government admins are built so that I'm not completely messing up my finances in such a very extreme way. Ooh. Oh, no. Colombian mass emigration. That's not great. That's a shame. Yeah, there's a lot of turmoil in these areas right now. You know what? We're doing it. We're surveying the Panama Isthmus. So this will be going for a year, and once it's done, we'll be able to build ourselves a canal, assuming there's not a problem with this tiny strip of territory held by the United States. I don't know why it's there, but it can't be for anything good. Those crafty Americans always trying to come into Brazil and take our jobs. Get out of here. Going into Mexico and taking all the jobs there. They're taking all the jobs in Rio Grande, all the jobs in Sonora. They're taking the jobs in Jalisco and Mexico City and Oaxaca. We are still in position 8. USA is above us, Italy and Austria as well, but we're holding our own from a prestige perspective, and we're actually above Spain, and we're far above the Ottoman Empire. So I'm feeling optimistic about the future from an overall perspective. That said, I think it is basically going to be the end of the episode at this point, because we're getting on to the end of 86. We've done a lot of important work today, so I'm feeling pretty happy overall. But it is time to put a pin in it. So, I've had fun, friends. I hope you've had fun as well. And I will see you all on the other side.